Today in Grow a Garden in Roblox, it is Friday afternoon, which means the new update drops tomorrow, and it's about time we do an updated trading tier list, so you know the value of all the current pets before things change drastically with the update tomorrow. If this sounds interesting to you, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button, become part of the first 300k OGs on the channel, and let's get into the video. I've got my notes here, and let's get into this. We've got the Spinosaurus coming up. He is in the top of C tier and hasn't shifted in value, even with all the egg hatching, even with the seals, even with the koi, endlessly hatching eggs, people buying up dinosaurs for shekels and selling them for seals. They're still holding value. They're exceptionally useful. Being able to take mutations from anywhere and put them onto your favorite plant, which is your most expensive plant in your garden, is just a valuable effect. And it's still holding its value right here. And before I forget, let me jump all the way up to the dragonfly. And before I do that, by the way, if you're wondering, I take all my values from the internet using real world values. I take a bunch of websites, I combine them, I average them out and separate them into tiers to try and make sense of what you could acquire these pets for online, so that when you trade in the game, if value is your goal, you're not gonna lose value. So the dragonfly, we have to talk about the dragonfly. Oh, the dragonfly continues to fall. We keep getting bug eggs in these weekend events, and they keep hatching them with seals and koi. The dragonfly, it's bad. It's bad. The dragonfly took another hit. It is almost 3 dragonflies to a Spinosaurus. Like, it's almost on the dot. 3 dragonflies to a Spinosaurus now. Oh, it's bad. Cooked owls are still cooked. 2 to a dragonfly. Actually, 2 to a dragonfly is like the slightest of overpays. It's pretty much inconsequential when you're trading down here at this part of the trading list. Chicken zombie is firmly 3 to a dragonfly. Remember when it was 4 to a dragonfly? Remember when it was 5 to a dragonfly? Remember when it was worth more than a dragonfly? That was a long time ago. The cockatrice is in the 4 to a dragonfly range. Yep, 4, not 5, not 6, 4. Oh, the poor dragonfly. The corrupted kit is in the 2 to a dragonfly range. So that is still a slight overpay at this point. The fennec fox is also in the 2 to a dragonfly range. Now, this is where things get a little bit interesting. The last time I saw transactions online for the Pachycephalosaurus, it was up here with the Spinosaurus. Now it is down above a dragonfly by a good chunk. It's technically almost a cockatrice in difference above the dragonfly, but here's the problem. I'm not really able to find any transaction history here at this level. I think once the event was done, people are no longer transacting and acquiring these online. So this value is probably going to go down. There's not a whole lot of volume in trading at this level. The Phoenix is down in the 2 to 1 range for the dragonfly, and the disco bee dropped a little bit more. Disco bee. The disco bee is an 8 tier bet. It's 8 tier, 100%. Nothing wrong with it. It's 8 to 1. 8 dragonflies to a disco bee right now. Yeah, no, 8 dragonflies to a disco bee. Wow. The dragonfly dropped like another 10-15%. It was a massive drop. The griffin is 3 to 1 with the dragonfly right now, almost on the dot. The junk bot is also roughly 3 to 1 with the dragonfly. And all of these, the lemon lion, the apple gazelle, the green bean, and the peach wasp are 2 to 1 with the dragonfly right now. Honestly, the way the dragonfly is going, it's being farmed into the dirt. It's just going to come down to the E tier before you even know it. It's crazy, but this is where we are. The queen bee and the dragonfly are pretty much worth the same. There's a negligible difference between them. The dragonfly is like slightly more, but the difference is so small, you don't even need a cockatrice to show that difference. The bald eagle is back up in the bottom of D tier. It is sadly now close to a dragonfly. The difference is a cockatrice. Oh man. Now the butterfly, guys, the butterfly has decreased as well. It is in the bottom of B tier, and I'm pretty much at the point where I'm going to stop talking about things in relation to the dragonfly and start talking about them in relation to the butterfly, especially as the butterfly continues to drift down a little bit and these other low tier pets stay the same. I'm pretty much going to start using butterfly as my conversation piece when it comes to describing this game. Brontosauruses are bottom of D tier, still very useful, still very powerful. Great effect. I mean, I was able to hatch some pretty big barn owls with the Brontosauruses. They're really good. Seals are 2 to 1 to a dragonfly right now, unless you have a heavy seal. I believe the weight, the necessary weight is over 1.71 kilograms to reach the 6.25 you need to get to a 50% cap, or was it 725? I can't remember right now. All I know is that you need roughly a 1.7 kilogram seal to be at age 100 effective enough to do the job. T-Rex has not moved in value. It is at the top of D tier alongside the Mimic. It is worth slightly more than a Dragonfly. That difference is roughly a cockatrice. There's a slight difference there. Huge pets, I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's a very difficult market to trade. If you have a huge pet, go ahead and do your own research and figure it out. Koi are at the top of E tier. They're more than 2-to-1 to a Dragonfly. Not quite 1-to-1 to the Dragonfly, somewhere in between. Very useful pets. I'm still looking for, what do I need? 1.21 kilogram koi? I need 1.21 kilogram rainbow koi. If you have them, contact me. Best way to contact me, comment down below and say, Kro, I have a 1.21 kilogram rainbow koi. Here is my Roblox account name. Add me. I'll add you. We'll talk. Raijus are still at the bottom of D tier because of a limited supply. They're just kind of stuck there right now. Ascended pets have dropped down to really close to the butterfly range, though they are worth more than a butterfly. Right now, the difference between an ascended pet, any random ascended pet, and the butterfly is roughly a dragonfly, which is funny because the dragonfly has decreased that much. Ascended pets, though, still hard to trade. If you happen to hatch one, congratulations. Even getting a butterfly, I would call that a win. But if you are trading up to acquire one, I wouldn't. They're really hard to move. Fennec foxes, for some reason, continue to maintain their value. You can do seal food and acquire more eggs. I think they're Oasis egg to get more fennec foxes. I'm surprised why the people who do the seal food methods aren't targeting that particular pet, unless all the little pets in that egg just aren't that plentiful. Could be possible. Blood owls, bottom of D tier, though you pretty much should call them top of E tier, to be quite honest. Wisps are just better. They're just better in every way. Lobster is top of E tier. Useful pet, great effect, great mutations, too much supply, dwindling demand. Red fox is down in the 3-to-1 range for a dragonfly, and the mimic is above the T-Rex in value, though minusculely. The T-Rex and the mimic are in equal value, and they're both a chunk higher than the dragonfly. The dragonfly is just falling that quickly. Blood hedgehogs, useful ability, top of E tier. Great ability. When pricklies are in demand, we might get a new prickly fruit with Halloween. I can totally see a really good prickly Halloween fruit coming. Blood kiwis, top of E tier. They're just inferior, almost said superior, inferior to the bald kiwi, the bald eagle. I'm getting my words mixed up. It's been a long day. The golden goose is down in the 3-to-1 range for a dragonfly, and now we have some fun. The raccoon hasn't moved in value. It's held perfectly steady. As such, it is at the top of A tier. The difference between the raccoon and the disco bee is basically an ascended pet in value, which is more than a butterfly. The difference between the raccoon and the butterfly is almost 4 butterflies. Like, if you do 4 butterflies to a raccoon, that's pretty fair, to be honest. It's 14 dragonflies. 14 dragonflies to get up to the raccoon. Are you kidding me? The kitsune has dropped again. It is still 2-to-1, now like perfectly 2-to-1 raccoons to the kitsune, but it has dropped again, and the kitsune has been trending down. I think people are starting to realize that there's not much value in hatching T-Rexes or mimics or dragonflies anymore, so they might have turned their attentions back up to trying to get kitsunes using the seal koi method. Now we're going to talk about the fun that is these store pets. Store pets in this game are just holding their values better than recently acquired equivalent egg pets because of seal koi methods. Now, having said that, there's not a lot of demand for these because a lot of people who are playing right now play during these events and already have them. The Drake, I actually have some notes on their demand right here. The Drake is sitting at the bottom of the C tier, worth a bit more than 2 dragonflies, but it has very low demand. I couldn't find a lot of transactions recently for the Drake. I can see different websites and how many of them have been transacted, how many of them have changed hands. And on those websites, it was like 1, 2, just a handful. So there is a little bit of demand at this value, but not a lot. But there's also a really tiny supply. So I don't know what's going to happen with this value. Now, if we get a major cooking upgrade where cooking speed matters, they're going to have some demand increase. But for now, there's not much demand. Now, the Luminous Sprite is worth a little bit more than the Dragonfly right now, and it has decent demand. I saw like a couple of websites having like 10 transacted, 11 transacted. So there's a little bit more demand than the other ones. I'm not saying a ton of demand. I'm just saying on the websites, a little bit more demand showing that maybe this value is accurate. I'm not quite sure. The Wisp is right just beneath the Spinosaurus, and it also has decent demand at this level, which is shocking to me because I do understand like it is a better blood owl, but I guess people are just using a whole bunch of those and a bunch of wisp wells and using those for leveling up pets and stuff like that. It has a little bit of decent demand. We'll see if that holds true moving forward. I'm not certain on that one. But again, the benefit of the Wisp and the Drake and the Luminous Sprite is they're no longer available. Their supply is fixed, and you can no longer seal koi them because they're store pets, not egg pets. It's an interesting dynamic. Moving on, the Badger is down in the 2-to-1-ish range, or the 2-to-1 to a Dragonfly right now. The Chipmunk, this is interesting. The Chipmunk is also, it's more about here-ish on the list, but I couldn't see a whole lot of transactions for it right now. Same with the Grizzly Bear. It's also in this range, right around here, but again, not a whole lot of transactions. Marmot, once again, here in this range, not a lot of transactions right now. Red Squirrel, we still haven't really found much of a use for it. It's down in the 2-to-1 range to a Dragonfly. The Space Squirrel, very low transactions on this, also down in the 2-to-1 to a Dragonfly right now. The Barn Owl has decent transaction history. Not bad. A fair amount of transactions on this. It is right here by the T-Rex. It's quite fair with the T-Rex in value, and it is being transacted at this value. So we'll see what the Barn Owl does. It might actually be the most valuable thing from this event so far. Robin, we already talked about it. No one's bothering. It's super common, way too common. The Space Squirrel is down in the 2-to-1 range with a little bit of demand, and the Swan is also down in the 2-to-1 range to a Dragonfly with a little bit of demand. Hopefully this video was useful to you. Hopefully it was valuable. If it was, go ahead and comment down below and let me know. Hit the subscribe button. Join the first 300 KOGs on the channel. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.